Time, it is the one thing we all have, yet it often feels like the one thing we never have enough of. We rush through our days, trying to accomplish as much as possible, but do we ever stop to think about how we're spending this most precious resource? Today, we'll dive into the story of Mr. Otto, an old clockmaker who knows the actual value of time and the wisdom that comes from spending it wisely. This is a story not only about clocks and gears, but about life, purpose, and the way we choose to live. The old clockmaker's shop. A little clock shop stood at the edge of a small town, its weathered exterior giving it an air of timelessness. Inside, the sound of ticking clocks filled the air, each one a masterpiece of craftsmanship, patiently repaired and maintained by the shop's owner, Mr. Otto. He was an old man with a gentle face, hands worn from decades of meticulous work, and eyes that sparkled with the wisdom of a purposeful life. Mr. Otto had been the town's clockmaker for as long as anyone could remember. People would bring him their broken watches and malfunctioning clocks, and he would restore them to life, each tick a testament to his dedication. To him, clocks were more than just machines, they were reminders of the precious nature of time itself. The young boy's impatience. His name is Oliver, and he's impatiently tapping his foot as he stares at his broken wristwatch. Finally, he enters the shop, ringing the bell above the door. Oliver, frustrated. "Hello? Mr. Otto? Are you in here?" Mr. Otto is sitting at his workbench with a magnifying glass perched on his nose. Otto looks up slowly. He smiles warmly at the boy. "Ah, Oliver. Come in, come in. What can I do for you today?" Oliver holds up his broken wristwatch. Oliver, exasperated, "My watch stopped working. Can you fix it, please? I need it back today. I've got places to be and things to do." Mr. Otto takes the watch gently from Oliver's hand, inspecting it closely. His eyes narrow in concentration as he examines the tiny gears inside. A fine piece of craftsmanship. I'll have to take my time with this one." Oliver groans and looks around at the countless ticking clocks, feeling impatient. "How long will it take? I really need it back soon. Can't you just fix it quickly?" Mr. Otto chuckles softly, setting the watch down on the counter. "Young Oliver, time is not something we should rush. Clocks, like life, work best when treated with care and patience." Oliver frowns, not understanding. "Oliver, but it's just a watch. It's small, and I've got a lot of things to do. If you don't hurry, I'm going to lose time." Mr. Otto, smiling. "Ah, that's where you're mistaken. You see, you're not losing time, you're simply not using it wisely." Oliver looks confused but curious, as Mr. Otto gestures to the rows of clocks on the shelves. "Look at these clocks, Oliver. Each one tells the same time, yet each one moves at its own pace, ticking steadily, never in a hurry. That's because time isn't something we chase. It's something we live in. Every second, every minute, it's a gift. How we spend those moments determines the quality of our lives." Oliver listens, still unsure of what Mr. Otto means. The old clockmaker pulls out a small, beautifully crafted pocket watch from his desk drawer and hands it to Oliver. "Mr. Otto, here. Hold this. Feel its weight in your hand. Do you know how long it took me to make that watch?" Oliver shakes his head. "Mr. Otto, it took weeks. Every gear, every spring, was placed with care. I didn't rush the process because I knew that a rushed clock would break sooner rather than later. But a clock built with patience and attention can last for generations." The boy turns the watch over in his hands, inspecting the delicate craftsmanship. "Oliver, but why does that matter? It's just a watch." Mr. Otto, smiling kindly. "Because, Oliver, the same goes for life. When we rush through our days, always thinking about the next thing, we forget to live truly. We miss the beauty of the present moment. But if we take our time, if we savor each second, each tick of the clock, we build something lasting. A life well lived." The weight of time. Oliver had never thought of time in that way before. To him, time was something to race against and filled with endless tasks and activities. But Mr. Otto's words stayed with him. The idea that time wasn't something to conquer but something to cherish was a new perspective, a perspective that made him rethink the way he had been living. The invitation to wait. Oliver carefully sets the pocket watch down on the counter, looking at Mr. Otto. "Oliver, so, if I leave my watch here, and you take your time to fix it, that means I'll have to wait. And that's a good thing? Mr. Otto, nodding precisely. Waiting isn't a waste of time, it's an opportunity. It is an opportunity to be present, reflect, and enjoy the world around you. Waiting gives us a chance to breathe, to slow down. And often, when we take the time to wait, we find that life has much more to offer than we ever realized. Oliver hesitates, but then nods in agreement. Oliver, okay. I'll wait. Mr. Otto smiles warmly and returns to his workbench, carefully opening Oliver's wristwatch to begin the repairs. The camera lingers on the delicate gears as Mr. Otto works slowly and methodically, showing the intricate details of his craft. Time well spent. As Oliver sat outside the shop, something remarkable happened. He wasn't in a rush for the first time in as long as he could remember. He wasn't worried about what he had to do next or how much time he lost. He simply sat. And in that stillness, he found a sense of peace he hadn't known before. Oliver began to notice things he had overlooked in his constant hurry, like the way the leaves rustled in the wind, or the sound of laughter from children playing nearby. He realized that the world wasn't rushing around him. It was simply existing, moment by moment, just like the clocks in Mr. Otto's shop. And for the first time, he felt like he was indeed a part of it. A new perspective. Later that afternoon, Oliver returns to the shop, where Mr. Otto is just finishing the final adjustments to the watch. He hands it back to Oliver with a smile. Mr. Otto, all done, my boy. Good as new. Oliver takes the watch and puts it on, looking at it with a newfound appreciation. Oliver, grinning, thanks, Mr. Otto. I think I understand what you were trying to say. Time isn't something we need to race against, is it? Mr. Otto, nodding. Exactly. It's something we need to live with. Every moment, every second, is an opportunity to be present. And when we spend our time wisely, when we slow down and take it all in, we build a meaningful and full life. Oliver smiles, and as he looks down at his repaired watch, the ticking suddenly feels different, like a gentle reminder to live each moment with intention. The legacy of time. Time, it's the one thing we all have, but how we choose to spend it makes all the difference. Like Mr. Otto, the old clockmaker, we can choose to live each day with care, attention, and purpose. Life is not about racing from one task to the next, but about cherishing the moments in between, finding beauty in the present, and living fully in each tick of the clock. So, take a moment. Pause. Breathe. Remember that time is not something to be conquered, but something to be embraced. Every second, there is the opportunity to live a life of meaning and joy. And like the clocks in Mr. Otto's shop, may your days be steady, your moments cherished, and your time well spent. If this story inspired you, take a moment today to reflect on how you're spending your time. Are you rushing through your days, or are you living with intention? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories that inspire mindful living and personal growth. Thank you for watching.